Hi, I'm Don with Cowboy Biker Adventures. Come along with me on this week's adventure at Henry Conwell Redwood State Park. Today I will cover Redwood Grove Loop Trail, which is a 40-acre grove of the tallest tree species on planet. This unique ecosystem of ancient coastal redwood trees have captured the interest and dedication of many people throughout time. On this 0.8-mile flat loop trail, you will discover the vital adaptations of the coastal redwood and the inspiration this grove holds to lead us to want to protect it. Be prepared to experience the majestic beauty of an old-growth coastal redwood forest that stands as a tribute to the efforts of people past, present, and future. There are 15 stops along this trail, and I'll be reading from the brochure at each stop. So come along to see these beautiful trees. I think you're going to like it. Okay, this is Redwood Grove. Let's go check it out. Who ever heard music in a state park like that in the afternoon? So, how long is this hike?
Which hike? This one here?
Yeah.
It's 0.8 of a mile, and it looks just like this. And there's 15 little stops.
So, 15 stops, so it takes about an hour?
Yeah, and there is a porta potty at tree number 8, halfway.
Okay.
So if you want to use that one there. Yep. There you go. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
I'm sorry?
Like any other questions?
No, not that I know of.
All righty. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
So this should be a simple hike. I mean, we're talking 0.8 of a mile and not much change the elevation, so. All right, let's go check it out. Well, I wouldn't say it's cool, but diffused light, it's not as hot. Stop 1, welcome to the rainforest. Take a moment to breathe in this fresh forest air. Feel in the temperature difference between the parking lot and where you are now stand. Look up. You have entered a special type of tempered rainforest, an old-growth coast redwood forest. These trees grow beyond 300 feet tall and live to the mature age of over 2,000 years. Rainy and foggy coastal conditions ensure there is enough moisture for their survival. It's not step 2 or stop 2. This is, I'm sure. Stop 2, amazing characteristics. Sequoia ciferans, the ever-living redwood, is another name for coastal redwood. Its many survival adaptations include thick, dark, long roots and its extraordinary height. Tannic acid within redwood bark gives it a rich cinnamon red color, while providing defense against insects, fungus, and even fire. Almost indestructible, these huge trees persistently survive while battling the natural elements. I've never been to a rainforest, but I guess this kind of reminds me of what I've seen in pictures and things.
That one? It's like an arm.
Look at that one.
Yeah.
Huge.
Enormous.
Enormous.
Very good.
Huge.
Adelaide. I like Adelaide, however.
Stop 3. Redwoods and fire. More than 100 years have passed since the last forest fire burned through here. Feel the trunk of this tree, noticing the fire scars that are still present. Most fires cannot penetrate the thick, fibrous, and almost fire-resistant redwood bark. An intense fire may burn through the bark and hollow out a tree, but if enough living tissue remains unharmed, the tree, like this one, continues to live and slowly heal its fire scars. Stop 4. The other tall tree. Touch the bark of this Douglas fir tree. The other tall tree in this forest feels different than the coast redwood. The stringy, fibrous redwood bark feels spongy, and the Douglas fir bark is hard and furrowed. When comparing leaves, the Douglas fir needles resemble a bottle brush, while redwood leaflets lie flat on the twig. Both trees make small cones, though differently shaped. The coast redwood cone is round and the Douglas fir cone is conical with small bracts that resemble a mouse tail and hind feet.
By the way, it was $10 to get in the park, and it closes at sunset.
Stop 5. Redwood family circles. The coast redwood has the ability to sprout from its trunk base. You are now standing in the middle of a redwood family circle where a larger redwood once grew. The trees that make up the circle have sprouted from the base of the parent tree. Even if the redwood tree has been logged, the root system is still alive.
I don't know, I haven't looked it up, but I can't picture us being more than about 10 miles from the coast, Pacific coast, or less. Tell you what, I think there is 15 stops. So we just did 5. Let's take a 360 look here. If it had more ferns, it would have a more tropical, or excuse me, a more rainforest feel to me. They got some. It's not hot, but it's not cold, but it's probably an 85-degree day. I must have missed it. I haven't seen 6 yet. Here's 6.
Stop 6. New life from dead trees. The tallest trees in the world have a shallow root system growing only 6 to 12 feet below the surface. Instead of growing deep, their roots grow out, extending hundreds of feet laterally, wrapping their roots around other redwood roots. These trees help each other stay in the ground until flood or wind finally knock them over. Fallen redwoods provide a fertile place for new trees to grow. Count how many trees you see growing from this down redwood.
Now, this is number 7 coming up. It's called the Giant.
Stop 7. The Giant. Aptly named, the tree called the Giant grows to 270 feet tall and over 17 feet wide, almost as high as a 25-story building. Imagine a tree this large grows from a seed the size of an oatmeal flake. Redwood seeds come from olive-sized cones containing an average of 60 to 120 seeds. The redwood forest floor is thickly covered with leaves, so seeds rarely find their way to the soil except for after a fire or flood. It is amazing to think that a tree the size of the Giant can germinate from something so small.
Fremont tree. This way.
Stop 8. The great story of the Fremont tree. Known as the Pathfinder, John Fremont came through the forests in 1846. It was reported that the General Fremont spent the night in the burned out hollow redwood tree in front of you. Asking if he ever slept in this tree when he returned here in 1888, Fremont's reply was, "It makes a great story, let it stand." Today you can explore the inside of Fremont tree. Once inside, feel the humid air and the marvel at this still living tree and its great story.
Next one up is number 9, which should be halfway.
Stop number 9. California bay tree. Under your feet, the crunch of dry California bay leaves reveals a spicy odor. Reach down to pick up the long, slender leaf, crush it to release familiar fresh scent. This bay leaf is different from, though related to, the Italian bay leaf used in cooking. Squirrels, deer, and birds eat the round bay nut. Natives of the area use them for making flour and coffee-like beverage. Stop 10. Redwood, Railroad, and Resort. Listen for the whistling sound of a train. On the other side of the fence, railroad tracks line the ground. Many years after the Fremont expedition, disembarking passengers from San Francisco came to the Welch's Big Trees Resort. The Welch family acquired this grove in 1867 and by doing so preserved the trees. Now close your eyes. Imagine the sounds of clutter and excitement with the resort patrons dancing to live music on the way to dinner and relaxing amongst these glorious trees. Because of the extraordinary qualities of this grove, the resort lasted about 50 years. The resort has long been gone, but the train now runs once again just outside the grove and through the park. Stop 11. Burls. The profusion of bumpy growths on this tree is a burl. Harmless to the tree, burls are a mass of nature, dominant buds, and can sprout new foliage. Some burls are found on root tops, while others can be seen higher on the tree. As a redwood grows, the burl steadily grows until the number of buds reaches thousands. Sprouting among cone-bearing plants is rare, and these curious bumps add to the magnificence of the coast redwood. Stop 12. Banana slugs. Under the low-growing clover-like plant called redwood sorrel, you might catch a glimpse of a banana slug, a native mollusk. This animal helps the redwood forest by recycling nutrients through eating various parts of the forest, such as green plants, fungus, and decaying matter. Identified by its bright yellow color, long, slimy body, and shining footprint, the banana slug is an important part of the ecosystem.
And I hear a train coming on the road tracks right out there.
Stop 13. Awe-inspiring trees. With all the characteristics of the coast redwood possesses, it is no wonder many people grew to admire these trees and want to preserve them for future generations. This fine example of one root system supporting many trees demonstrates the sheer persistence this species has to survive. Listen to the sounds of this old grove, the melody of the Pacific wren and the loud clatter of the western gray squirrel remind us they live here in this protected place and of how fortunate we are that places like this exist. Stop 14. The phantom of the forest. The white foliage of the albino redwood leaves lack chlorophyll, which green plants need to make their own food. By sharing a root system with a green leaf tree, this distinctly white redwood sprout survives by getting its necessary nutrients from the parent tree. Depending on seasonal conditions, the albino redwood may seem like a ghostly apparition and very difficult to spot growing right in front of you.
Oh, there's the train right there.
Jeter Stone. On your way to stop 15, locate the Jeter Stone on the left side of the trail. In 1930, William T. Jeter, a state and local community leader, saved this grove from being cut. The grove you are now standing in was then named Santa Cruz County Big Trees Park. The Cowell family donated neighboring lands in 1953 when this grove and surrounding property became the California State Park named Henry Cowell Redwoods. Stop 15. Redwood family tree. This slender tree is the Dawn Redwood, a close relative of the coast redwood. It was thought to be extinct until 1940s when it was rediscovered in a remote valley in China. This deciduous redwood is also planted near the park entrance station. Both trees were reportedly planted on the same day more than 60 years ago. A giant sycamore has also been planted there. All three redwoods may be compared. You have reached the end of the Old Growth Redwood Loop Trail at Henry Cowell Redwood State Park. This grove has been admired and cared for by those who have walked this trail before you. Please continue the tradition to ensure this growth will remain preserved forever. These incredible trees can only be protected with your help. Although your walk has ended, we hope your interest and enthusiasm for the coast redwood continues.
Please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I do adventure videos once a week, shorts on weekends. So until next time, have a good one.